Hi everyone, I'm terribly sorry I'm late. I should have said, so your county dollars were at work, just in the wrong work spot. So, I apologize. That's okay. You know, sometimes you say together and nobody else. So, just a second, let me look at it real quick. Who's going first today?
Brian is listening to the first.
Okay, all right. Just give me a second. I'm going to put you glasses. All right, well, thank you once again. I'm sorry for being late this morning. Totally my fault. So I apologize and thank you for your patience. So good morning. This is the meeting of the Election Commission. It's called pursuant to Michigan statute found at MCL 168.952, which governs the elections in the state of Michigan. Today, I believe, is April 7th, and the time is roughly late, 08. We're meeting in the Commissioner's Chambers in the Bay County building, and this meeting follows the Open Meetings Act. This meeting is being recorded. Just a friendly reminder, which I'll need to do myself, is please silence your cell phones. The members of the Bay County Election Commission, as defined by statute, are as follows. We have County Clerk Kathleen Zanatti, and she serves as the Secretary of the Commission. County Treasurer Weston Prince, and he serves as just as one of our members of our commission, and I'm Jan Minor, the probate judge, and I'm the chair. As defined by statute, the purpose of today's meeting is to determine whether each reason for the recall stated in the petition is factual and of sufficient clarity to enable the officer whose recall is sought and the electors to identify the course of conduct that is the basis for the recall. That's defined by statute. The Recall Commission does not determine the truth of any allegation. Allegations of fact, may be true or false, and the Commission does not have the structure or the resources, or quite frankly, the procedural authority to investigate, to swear witnesses, or to subpoena to determine if the allegations are true or not. However, the language should at least be grounded in reality to the extent that it has the potential to be true. The Recall Commission will consider only whether the assertions in the petitions are stated clearly and factually. Any allegation of fact may be true or false, and the test employed by this commission will be to find out whether the allegations state facts are clear and that the responding official may defend. Please note, if any reason for the recall is not factual or of sufficient clarity, the entire petition shall be rejected. In addition, each reason for the recall shall be based upon the officer's conduct during his or her current term in office. Matters of opinion are factual. If the Commission approves the recall language, a copy of the approved language will be forwarded to the filing official, who will later receive the signed recall petition sheets. We will make our determination at the end of the meeting by vote, so you'll know today. Our ruling on the clarity and factual nature of the recall language may be appealed by the officer whose recall is sought or by the sponsor of the petition, of the recall petition, to the circuit court in this county, and it must be filed within 10 days after our determination, which will be 10 days from today. As previously stated, these proceedings are being recorded. Therefore, I ask that everyone treat each other with respect and courtesy. If there are unnecessary comments while someone is speaking, it could result in a distorted record. If an orderly meeting cannot be maintained, I reserve the right to adjourn the hearing to the court facility, so please silence your cell phones. So this is the procedure. Okay, we're going to go with Mr. Whalen. Okay. And so what we'll do first is we will hear from the sponsor of the petition, who I think is Mr. Jeremy Bloom. and then the officer. The sponsor of the petition will have 10 minutes, and the officer will have 10 minutes. I will then open the meeting to public comment, including comments from the commissioners if they so desire. If you wish to speak to the clarity and factual nature of the petitions, you may, and we ask that you limit your time to around 3 minutes. Just when you come up to the microphone, please identify yourself and your address before speaking. So that's how we're going to conduct it. So first I'm going to go ahead for Mr. Whalen, and I'm going to read the language. It states, we, the undersigned, registered and qualified voters of the Township of Cucaulin in the County of Bay County and the State of Michigan, petition for the calling of the election to recall Brian Whalen from the office of trustee for the following reasons. On March 7th of 2025 at approximately 7:35 a.m., the Cucaulin Township trustee Brian Whalen sent an email from his City of Saginaw email account to the supervisor Brad Eddy regarding a February 12, 2025 social media proposal from his spouse Jocelyn Jamrock. Okay, so would the sponsor of the petition like to come forward? Mr. Bloom? Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
You want to just state your name for the petition? Please.
Jeremy Bloom, 211030, Cucaulin, Michigan, 48631.
Wait, go ahead, sir.
So, I had wonderful packets for 30 days. Thank you to everybody.
That's okay.
And then, unfortunately, I only got one copy. Well, no, it's in there. The other copy I'll share in a moment. So, as stated, you'll see in your packets, I did FOIA at our township, and they played the FOIA game with the attorneys and dragged it out to the very last 5 minutes of the allowable time. And still waiting, good faith deposit was paid, and waiting for that information. But as you see in the Fahey Schultz packet, the very last page I included in that, the certificate of no public records is in there. I did ask for that information. As for the email that is referenced in my petition, you will see that email. I also have a copy of the board minutes from Monday, March 10th, where it shows the Cucaulin Township Board did vote and discuss on this. If you guys would like to see the minutes, I have that also. Pretty straightforward. Any questions for me?
Just a second.
So what was your FOIA request?
To find out if there was in fact, insurance for social media publication to cover the township for any liabilities.
But that's not what your recall
No.
petition states. Your recall petition states that they forwarded an email, that's why you want to recall the individual.
Yes, and the email is in that packet. It all kind of snowballs together, I guess, sir.
I hate to be obtuse, I'm sorry. So on March 7th, contact was sent an email from the City of Saginaw. So Mr. Whalen must work for the City of Saginaw, correct?
Correct.
Okay. From his account so he sent an email from his account to the supervisor, Brad Eddy. Okay. So he sent an email to that Brad Eddy regarding a February 12th social media proposal
Yep.
from his spouse. So what's the issue with the conduct, or is this just like another? I'm not sure I understand what the issue is.
Well, I'm not sure what "tus" means.
I'm dumb.
Oh,
I mean, it means I'm not sure. I'm so sorry. I'm not getting it. So what's
the
the
whole gist
issue?
of this is transparency and basically the friends and family supporting, getting the elected position to help out friends and family.
I
So
get it.
by him helping his wife, he voted on this, helping his wife receive funds from our township tax dollars.
Okay, all
That's
right.
where it always boils down to.
Okay, so
This is the first time I've ever had to do a recall, so sorry.
No,
It's
you're
simple, I
okay.
thought.
I just didn't get it. Social media proposal from a spouse. So Ms. Jamrock was doing a social media proposal to Coquitlam Township?
Yep, if you look
Okay,
in that
okay,
packet.
all right, let me get there. Yep,
Yep.
okay, got it.
But it was just for an email, correct? No contracts were approved?
No, it was approved, the proposal was approved.
Oh, here we go. Oh, here's the proposal.
Who requested the email? Who requested an email before? Was it an unsolicited forwarding of the email, or was it requested by the supervisor?
The email,
Correct. So you discussed that Mr. Whalen sent an email
yep,
to Supervisor Bradley. Was that an unsolicited promotion of a proposal, or was that requested by the supervisor?
yeah, this was just shared with me.
I have copies for them.
Oh, okay, well,
We can take a look at it.
okay.
All right, got it.
So you're unsure of that?
I am
Okay,
unsure.
so, okay,
Previously in our board, township work, there's been a lot of discussion back and forth of him doing business, Mr. Whalen doing business from the city of Saigon email account for Coquitlam Township business. That's all I was aware of until I was able to obtain the email from Supervisor Eddie that started in the chain of events. It started rolling down the proposal for the social media account manager proposal.
I'm sorry, so did you receive the email through the FOIA or from
No,
the supervisor?
I received it.
So it was outside your FOIA request?
Yes.
gotcha, okay.
I received
it
it
now.
before the
Okay.
FOIA request, actually.
All right, yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, now I get it. I just had to connect the dots a little bit. All right. Mrs. Noddy, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yes.
On this side, good.
Thanks, sir.
All right, Mr. Whalen.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Ryan Whalen, Township, Road. Members of this commission, this is the second time in weeks I have been here to defend against the same rejected allegations. This is not an isolated petition, this is a part of a documented pattern. The township supervisor has systematically used third-party petitioners to file recalls against different trustees on this board. This is a coordinated political maneuver, not a grassroots effort. I ask the commission to dismiss the language for the following reasons. It is a factual misrepresentation. The petition claims that I sent the proposal for my wife. I have text evidence that the supervisor requested the information from me the day before. You cannot solicit what you have been directed to provide. This is just not a lack of clarity, it's a factual falsehood. It is inherently misleading by omitting the fact that I was acting at the supervisor's request. The language creates a half-truth. The commission already ruled on March 13th that the reason lacked factuality and clarity. Adding a timestamp to this false premise does not make it true or clear. Bad faith litigation. The petitioner is being directed by the supervisor repeatedly to file these until something sticks, wasting commission's time and taxpayers' resources. The law requires recall language to be clear, factual, and neutral. This petition is none of these things. I respectfully request that it denied. The information that he has in his packet was FOIA from my piece of employment. Since then, the city of Saginaw has been mentioned at every one of our meetings. Per the text request, I hesitantly sent it from work because I had to put on the agenda because it was running late. Per the phone call from Brad Eddie and the text. Did you get that? Did you get that yet? I tried to stay out of it because of the Friends and Family Plan. He had caught my wife at one of our events and he asked her, Brian said you're doing Facebook pages, can you make us a Facebook page? And it moved forward from there, and they had dialogue. I tried to stay out of it because of that, and lo and behold, trying to be efficient and help my township out and the supervisor. I got to work that morning, texted her at 8. I sent it a couple times, I don't know what's going on, and I sent it to my work email, and now we're here. It's still misleading. It's still implying that what he thinks I'm soliciting for my wife to, gain financial gain. It wasn't for that. And it was approved by the board unanimously. So, at the meeting, he's not going to. But on top of that, if you read it, it really looks like I set this all up, and I was the catalyst that drove it. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Repeated texts, repeated phone calls. You get this, and you get this, and you get this. It wasn't me. I didn't drive it. I was just the middleman. I was doing what they asked me to do, and that's part of my township duties. Follow the supervisor requests. So, thank you guys for your time.
Well, I have a quick question. I wasn't here the last time because I was really sick, as opposed to just late. So, your allegation is that Mr. Eddy, is he the township supervisor?
Yes.
Your allegation just a few minutes ago is that Mr. Eddy is driving the recalls?
Yes.
Okay, so then if he's driving all the recalls, doesn't he know that he requested this from you?
Apparently he didn't read back.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions for Mr. Eddy?
You mentioned that recalls have to be clear, factual, and neutral. I've never seen neutral in a recall, but maybe I missed it.
I've been, we've been through this process a couple times, and I've been down to Google, the chat, the Gemini, the Grok, and that's what it comes up with.
I do understand that, how I explain recalls is you can't have an opinion. I want to recall Katie's Night because I don't like her.
Yeah.
But how I've always understood recalls, and I told our state rep when he was here for our first one, is these laws are written very broadly, and it doesn't have to be a good reason.
Well, I understand, we discussed that once already.
Yeah.
The fact that it's misleading, though, doesn't, it can be factual, but it's misleading, it's ominous. It's implying that I was doing something for self-gain, and that's furthest from the truth. If I wouldn't even have shown up if it said, supervisor, you requested an email proposal from Brian's wife on the state, I wouldn't even waste your guys' time with 10 minutes talking.
Because it's true. Yeah.
Because it's not, it's just, you guys let the opening statement use the word factual, I think 26 times. It's just not factual, and I'm sorry that you didn't give them all the pieces of the puzzle. But I showed you my phone last time you were here, and we were here. And this time I wanted to print it out so you have it for your records. Like I said, it's just throwing the noodles at the wall for one stamps. And if the wording was factual, like I said, I want to waste your guys' time.
I do want to be clear on one thing, it has to be factual in nature.
Yes.
Sure that people, so it could be Brian Whalen wore a blue shirt to the meeting.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you actually wore a blue shirt or not, that is in nature, that is a factual statement.
Yeah.
So just want to be very clear on that for everybody in the audience. It doesn't necessarily need to be true or false, it just has to be factual in nature of the statement.
Yeah.
So,
And not misleading. It does say. But thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mellon, I appreciate it. Just one minute. Is there anybody else from the gallery that would like to address the commission? Mr. Blum, you had your hand up. You want to come back up?
So, just to clarify,
Yes, sir.
the comment was made, this is not grassroots.
I'm sorry,
This is not a grassroots movement.
Okay.
That is farthest from the truth. We have been meeting with several township residents, and Supervisor Eddy, Mr. Eddy, whoever you want to call him, is not in attendance at these meetings. He is not involved. So when they're saying this is not a grassroots, there are several business owners that are involved that's allowing us to host these meetings to get our township back on track in their businesses. So to me, that's as grassroots as you can get in a small community in Buffalo Township. So just wanted to clarify that.
All right, thank you, sir. Anyone else want to address the commission? draft notes minutes from last time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The draft minutes. Anyway.
Oh, doesn't matter. I was just trying to.
Lisa here, Whalen Township.
Okay.
I agree with Mr. Bloom. This is grassroots. I mean, there's a lot of us that have been talking about the things that have been happening on our board since the new board took over, so.
Would you like to talk about the petition and all here?
I do know another resident had given me his FOIA of trustee Whalen's emails, and there were quite a few that were addressed from his City of Saginaw email instead of from the township email. And I do remember seeing the social media, that was one of the attachments that came through in that FOIA request.
Do you know that Commissioner Eddy or Supervisor Eddy requested those emails from Mr. Whalen?
That I can't speak to.
I thought you said you had seen some
I
of those.
saw, someone had given me their FOIA of the City of Saginaw emails from Mr. Whalen.
Okay,
I looked through them.
but just breeze through them?
Yes.
Okay,
So I can't speak to that.
all right, thank you. Dan? Please state your name and address.
I'm Jocelyn Jimmer, 911 Fraser Road, Concord, so I'm one that manages the Facebook page that has caused so much commotion in our township. Thank you for being here this morning. So I understand that the ruling isn't, Brian didn't wear a blue shirt, he wore an orange shirt, and I understand that. I'm president of the Bay City Board School Board. I've worked at the YMCA in communications and marketing for the last 13 years. I understand semantics and words, you have to do certain things. I just, the City of Saginaw, if you watch the Coquitlam Township meetings that are recorded and put on YouTube on an official page, you will see that City of Saginaw is used frequently when it comes to literally anything. Brian, did you get that from the City of Saginaw? Didn't you tell me that when you were calling me from City of Saginaw? And it's constantly, Trustee Whalen is allowed to have a job. Also, what he failed to mention is that the City of Saginaw has made it so that he can no longer receive emails from Brad Eddy because Brad has continued to email him to his City of Saginaw email address, even after it was requested that he stop. I know this isn't about that, but there are some audience members that are making today about that, and so I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, that the City of Saginaw had said this is enough, and we will not receive emails from Brad Eddy any longer. So, I just think about voters in Concord, and they get this petition that says Brian Whalen sent an email regarding social media on March 7th, and if I walk out of Meyer and someone says, can you please sign this petition, it confuses the heck out of voters. And so for that reason, I urge you to reject it. It's not cut and dry. It's like, okay, so we sent an email. So what am I supposed to do as a resident? And I just apologize for the waste of tax dollars and people's time. And
Please don't.
well, I still really appreciate you guys all being here, and it's just interesting to me that a grassroots group who wants transparency and wants the township to be better would go through this whole process multiple times for really no reason. And I'm very proud of the Facebook page. I think the trustees are very proud of the Facebook page. The residents are very positive and fun. And so I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Hold on, Ms. Jammer. Any questions from Ms. Jammer? Ms. Jammer, they did sign this contract, and so you are a contractual employee of the city or the township of Coquitlam?
Yes.
And it was passed at a board meeting?
Correct.
With a motion and a vote?
That I'm not sure. Yeah, I did not attend that meeting.
Okay, but did Supervisor Eddy also sign this contract with you?
I don't have a copy of the contract.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, anyone else? All right, thank you. Any comments, Ms. Sunlight, on the petition?
I think the point that was just brought up, City of Saginaw, to me, when I read this language, if I were a City of Saginaw resident, I might take issue with it, where maybe not the township of Whalen, but, I do disagree with the point that was brought up earlier, that it has to be neutral, that it has to be a good reason, it has to be true. Even Trustee Whalen did say that this is a factual misrepresentation. He does admit that it is a fact. This is a statement of a fact. The State Board of Canvassers just had a recall petition in front of them 2-3 weeks ago that I watched, and it was about a county drain commissioner who, I think, from what I understood, is they actually lowered the interest rate the county would pay. So they actually are saving the county money, but they're being recalled for that reason. And one of the canvassers said, this doesn't make sense to them. They think it's a good thing, but I guess that's up to the county's voters. When they have that petition in front of them, they say, why would I sign this? This doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that this is a bad reason. But that's not for us to decide whether the residents should sign this petition, whether they agree with this reason. So, those are my comments.
All right, Mr. Prince, any comments?
I would echo much of what she just said. I do find it interesting. The petitioner stated, friends helping friends, family helping friends to get contracts. This recall petition is not regarding the vote. This recall petition has nothing to do with awarding a contract. It has to do with forwarding an email. Take that for what it is. Again, we are focused on the language and the language only in this petition. And I would again echo many of her same comments.
Okay, thank you. Me too. Unfortunately, whether we like the law or we don't like the law, that's part of the issue, right? And so we have to follow what the statutes have. And I've done tons of research myself as chair of the Election Commission to figure out what it means, because not everything that comes before us, as Ms. Zanatti indicated, is palatable. So that's for sure. All right, so should we go ahead and I'll call for a vote. Ms. Zanatti?
Yes.
Mr. Prince?
Yes.
That does I would say yes too, but it's two votes. It is the day, so the recall petition will go forward. Mr. Whalen, as I indicated, we have 10 days from today in order to file your petition with the circuit court here in Bay County.
And they are familiar with it, I believe. Treasurer Shane filed one, so if you show up at the circuit court, they should be able to.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, sir. Thank you. All right. I think we have our next one. Is that Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Let me make sure I've got. Please see your petition real quick. So I'm not okay, good. Thank you. All right. All right. This is for Mr. Charles Campbell. We, the undersigned registered and qualified voters of the Township of Whalen, in the County of Bay County in the State of Michigan, petition for the calling of an election to recall Charles Campbell from the office of Township Trustee for the following reasons. On December 22nd of 2025, Trustee Charles Campbell voted to approve the Whalen Township Board minutes stating Clerk Kayla Jolanderer's resignation was accepted. No roll call vote or vote of the board occurred on December 8th of 2025 to accept the resignation. All right, and this was submitted by Mr. Greg Petrimo. Is Mr. Greg Petrimo here? Hi, sir. Come on up. Hi, would you state your name and address, please?
Greg Petrimo, 463 East Highway Road, Linwood, Michigan, 48634.
Thank you, sir.
I have a copy of the minute. Unfortunately, I only had one copy because my copy machine was moving out.
All right, thank you.
But on December 8th, there was a motion made to accept the resignation of our clerk. But the motion was made and approved, but it was never voted on. As you can see in there on number 13, and it's the one that says Burns on top. That was the original minutes that were taken off of the recording from the meeting. The second one that says DeShano was also, it says December 8th. Number 13 is where the minutes were changed to indicate that a vote was taken, which it never was. On December 9th, I was in the office, and I had the sheriff department called on me because I was in the office, and they said I shouldn't have been there because they voted to accept the clerk's resignation. Well, the sheriff deputy listened to the minutes, and he said there was no vote taken, so it was illegal. So that's the problem. And then on December 22nd, as you can see in there, the two trustees and the treasurer both voted, or all voted, to accept the minutes that were on the website, which were the illegal minutes. So that's what this is about. And because of that, 2 people lost their job.
Okay, hold on just 1 second. You said, okay, so I'm looking at the Burns minutes. Who's Burns?
She was our secretary at the time.
Okay,
And she took the minutes off the recording. All the meetings are recorded. She took the minutes off the recording.
okay. And you said it's number 13?
Number 13, I believe on there, it says, you'll see, I had a little highlight on there that says no vote was taken.
So these were Burns minutes.
And then the other ones, it says Duchesne on top, was basically the same minutes, except for it reflected that there was a vote taken.
Was there something else that happened at that meeting?
Pardon?
Was there something else that happened at that meeting in regards to?
I really don't know. I wasn't at the meeting.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay. Because I think we had the privilege of listening to the recording the last time. This is the same situation, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I don't think there was a roll call vote, but there was someone who was, whoever was chairing the meeting said something to the effect, you know, we all accept her, we're accepting her resignation. And people were saying, yes, yes.
Well, they accepted the resignation.
Right.
There was no, I mean, there was a motion made.
Right,
and
there
seconded for the
was no vote, but
resignation.
they accepted a resignation that was tendered to them, is that correct?
Right.
Did that happen?
I believe so. Like I said, I wasn't there, but I believe so. I'm just going with the minutes.
Yeah, there was an exception of it, so she
Well, there
submitted
was an
resignation.
exception. They accepted the resignation without accepting the wording.
Right, so
Yeah.
they accepted her resignation?
Yes.
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I mean,
Does that mean she then resigned and the township accepted it?
well, they accepted her letter, but they didn't take a vote to approve it. They accepted her letter.
They accepted her resignation?
Right.
Okay, all right. So I guess that's the ultimate question. If you don't vote, but you accept it, did she really resign or didn't she, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any questions for Mr. Petrimo? Nothing, Mr. Bell? Any questions for Mr. Petrimo? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Campbell?
Thank you for your time. Maybe we should recall the video for the recording if that's permissible,
Sure.
because it makes it crystal clear. If there's a mistake, the mistake was on Mr. Eddie, and not on me. He was the chair of the meeting.
He was the one chairing the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, oh yes, you can. The emails document the whole conversation. All right, we're on to number 13, resignation. Clerk, can you read Kayla Slander's resignation? To all board members of Whalen Township residents, effective immediately, I'm resigning and support from board members has created an environment that I can no longer tolerate or be a part of. I will go as far to say that I believe I have been subjugated to sabotage after I was appointed to the Planning Commission. The only reason I lasted as long was because of the support I received from the supervisor, my deputy, and front desk. I will not remain for any transition or handover period. My employment with the municipality ends as the delivery of this letter. Serving the residents of Cook Holland has been a privilege, but internal work environment has left me with no other choice but to step away immediately. I ask the board to accept my resignation on this day of December 8th, 2025. Sincerely, Kayla Schneider.
I make a motion to accept the resignation without actually accepting the wording of the letter that's shown on the book. I think should be second.
Second motion, accepting the resignation.
Yes.
Talking with Katie Zanotti last week, I had told her I had a feeling something was happening. So I told her I hadn't received the resignation, but she hasn't shown up for work for days. So she said she's at home, don't feel good. So I went there and asked her, protocol, listen, we have an election coming up. I don't want the township to be, in a bad predicament. What do we do here? So there's a lot of different issues, including payroll and other things that are happening within the township now. But she did make a statement that concerned me, and that was that Charlie was in a few months ago and asked what happens if the clerk resigns. Well, it ends up being at about the same time when she says a few months that she was put on the planning commission. Now, did she get put on the planning commission? She asked to be. She was wanting to be elected again. She wanted experience. So to me, this is heartbreaking because I'm going to tell you what, if there was anything wrong with Kayla Schlander, she had too big of a heart.
All right, so let me just jump in, because I had a conversation with Kayla when you decided to acquire the planning commission, and I talked to her and I said, Kayla, this really is not a good idea. You need to learn your job before you try to learn zoning, before you try to learn all this other part. You need to learn your job first. I understand you want to branch out, but you need to get good at what you do first. And so I checked, because, word was going around, apparently, that she was going to resign before we were together. Kind of interesting. So I actually checked to see how much she had actually been doing in the system. And I just found it to be kind of interesting. So the clerk's office is responsible for accounts payable, responsible for payroll, and has some things to do in the general ledger. Those are 3 different applications that we have. My part in those was a little bit more general ledger, but my part of those has to do with reconciling. Reconciling each month, I have to clear out everything that goes off the payroll check, every AP check, so on and so forth. I do some general ledger postings, journal postings. So I actually looked. 4/15, I believe, is when she was actually appointed in, and she had Greg in there, and we were told that with all the years of experience that Greg had, that he would be great at training her and getting everything just working fantastically. So in the time from 4/15 to 12/3, there were a total of 527 records created in the general ledger system. I actually went down and saw how many were hers. Out of 527, 34 were hers. That is just over 6% of the work that was happening in the general ledger. Payroll from 4/15 to 12/1/25, there was 1,528 records during that time. Of those, she was responsible for 37 out of 1,528. Just over 2% of the activity happening in payroll. In accounts payable, For 1525 to 12/8/25, there was 1,895 records created. Of those, Kayla's name was on 73 of them, which is almost 4% of the work that was completed in advance. So, had she actually been taking the time to do her job and to learn her job, she probably wouldn't have been so stressed out. Instead of having her do it and then not being able to fix the errors that were made, which were brought up many, many times, dating all the way back to when she started, that still haven't been fixed.
So, Mr. Shano, with you stating that, it brings something up your niece who worked for the township that was your deputy treasurer. You told me how you just stack them up and let her do them at night. What do you think the percentage would be if you were to look in the mirror?
Well, I'll tell you, I take payments all day. I also do all the reconciliations. I always have, thank you. I do all the reconciliations. You don't even know what happens in my office. You're too busy doing all your scheming and yours.
It's a scheme. Scheme is taken. I never had that work for our township.
It's kind of null and void to bring up whatever percentage is on because she's done. Does it make sense for you guys to bicker back and forth about it?
Is it null and void to bring up the emotional attachment and how it didn't work out because it was so sad too?
Hey, that's it. I don't know. I got nothing to
Well,
do
you
with
got
that.
both sides of the equation.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
when you look at Greg and Sherry, how much work did Greg do when he was the treasurer, the clerk for how long? And he was doing Sherry, how much money? I know. My house never was this didn't happen. We didn't have input to your conversation. So I'm just going to say that. I wish we could act to that. And it starts here that you rise above each other's silliness, right? And you are professional. But I opened my mouth because that was number one.
So we accepted the clerk's resignation.
Yes.
But I want to make a comment. When I went over to our county clerk's office, I went there because the comment was made, special assessment, millage, $15,000 for a special election. The township paid $10,000 when they had an election, and Katie said, you can have it done for $5,000 at most, because you only have one precinct. They had 3. So we spent $5,000, get this put together, get the millage. We wouldn't have had a conversation about all this money with lawyers. People could have voted. But the fear was it might not get well received. But Charlie, that's where the conversations started with Mrs. Zanatti, Mr. Eddie, just to make a little clarity. So I was pressing clarity there. We accepted her resignation, make a motion for payroll, and I think for legal, that we could, and we gotta look into it, with you and her on check signing, if we can legally do it. Well, I did Googled it and ChatGPT'd it and found it, and they all did come to a special assessment for a short term. It's a temporary for short term. Something like this is things that we can, but I just want to ask her.
So on 2 different times, it was commented on. First time was yes. Second time, we accepted it. No objections. And then here is this. This is
Who has the ability to call the vote?
Brad Eddy.
Who?
Brad Eddy,
Brad Eddy?
the supervisor.
Okay.
He elected not.
So he failed to do his duty with the motion on the floor?
Yes, ma'am. If any.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Campbell?
Thank you. You just handed, and I'll share this too. What is this? So this is the December 22nd meeting, roll call of officers. Trustee Whalen made a point of order to have the record reflect that Ms. Schlander resigned, she was there,
Right, yes.
so she was there. And it was accepted by the board. Eddie made motion to amend the agenda, that Ms. Schlander seconded, but amend the agenda to what? Remember? No.
I'm sorry, Ms. Sinati, they
Here.
accepted her resignation on the
Please
22nd.
read through that. So that's the December 22nd meeting.
Yeah. Here was this is the one, number 17. Yeah. And when we say
It's the one that she submitted
the minutes, one would be clear that those minutes said that a person by name of Troy was put on the planning commission, and the person by name of Troy was not. And that's why that draft had that amendment just before this issue. It really boils down to, there are certain people that would like certain people not in office, period. They're refusing to accept the vote of the board, being a vote of consensus. It's over, let's go forward, leave the past in the past, and they just continue to drudge up the past. The past is, we had first, Sherry Cruz resigned, second, we appointed Kayla Chandler, and she chose, nobody wrote that resignation letter but her. And she had not been in the office. And that is why people were asking, what happens? So, if you're looking into the future, nobody has a crystal ball, but you must know what happens.
Do you know if Kayla Schlander, the current clerk isn't here, but do you know if she's filed for office? That clerk position is going to be on the August 2026 ballot, and so, I mean, if really she still wanted to be clerk, now's the time to sign up.
But
Does anyone know if
She
she's
is
filed for
not.
office?
So was Ms. Schlander, was she the clerk, the elected clerk?
she was the elected clerk, and Brenda Petramall was the deputy
So
She was appointed
She
clerk.
was the
Or-
appointed clerk.
appointed.
The clerk who was elected in 2024 resigned.
Sherry.
Early in 2025,
She
a few
resigned.
months in.
Okay. And then she was appointed to fill the spot, and then she,
Resigned,
Okay.
rescinded.
or, yeah, right, okay, so that's what her job was.
But we have, now they're on their third clerk of the year, I guess. Yeah,
term.
The
yeah,
term.
the term.
Sure.
Okay,
And that's the point I asked is, this is an elected position. I mean, same with pretty much all of us. If someone else wants it,
you
you
can
can
name
for it.
that.
And it is a appointed position, so they are on the 2026 ballot.
This right now is an appointed position, but it
Yes.
is an elected position, and if anybody wants it, then they need to get their signatures and get on the ballot, correct?
Correct.
$100.
Oh, it's only $100? Oh, that's easy.
Only judges.
All right. Oh, only judges have their signatures. Okay, got it. Did know. Okay, I just didn't realize that. So does anybody plan to run?
Not that I'm aware of, because they do file with the townships and I recorded the names afterwards, but
When's the deadline?
2 weeks, I think.
22nd, isn't it?
Usually.
Okay.
21st.
21st.
Okay.
And that's not exactly a question for you, but that's kind of the process that I really haven't understood with the reason for this recall. If I worked for McDonald's and was fired from McDonald's for a reason that I didn't agree with, I guess I wouldn't try to get the CEO fired. I would try to get my job back.
Yeah.
So I've never really thought that this is the right avenue to go through to still get your job back. But we do have to review it.
Mr. Wallington and his paperwork to file, so we do have one person that's.
Oh, but it's not this person.
That is not this person.
I just don't know. Nobody passes. Okay. All right, any more questions for Pastor? All right, thank you.
What you just said, like Pastor, that's the other side, Brian,
Reverend.
they bring up
Pastor Brown.
Brian, they bring up that he works for the city of Saginaw. In my case, people have made comment that, well, don't use the toilet rubber in a meeting. I did. Supervisor does. And, it's not appreciated. And it's truly appreciated. Persons get all negative and constantly remain negative because you are who you are.
Well, I would assume that most of the township jobs, though, that are also, some of them are part-time, some of them are full-time, so other people throughout the community would have to have other jobs, so, and other positions.
Yes,
So,
this
again,
is
just-
extremely, as a trustee, part-time.
Yeah, of
That's a
course.
$5,000 a year salary.
Right, so we have to have other positions.
We had 26 meetings last year.
So, okay, thank you so much. Anybody would like to respond? Mr. Bloom, come on.
Good morning again.
Good morning. Just state your name real quick.
Jeremy Bloom.
Thank you, sir.
Ken Frazier.
Yep, go ahead.
I have attended Coquitlam Township board meetings for several years. I was the full-time firefighter for Coquitlam Township, and in that position, I had to attend as the liaison between the fire department and the township board. So if we had something to bring up, the chief wasn't able to, I'd attend. I've seen several supervisors, clerks, trustees come and go through our township. Something that I kind of want to point out. I believe you guys have received several copies of minutes of Coquitlam Township. If you look through those copies, you'll see motion made, motion seconded by whoever made it, whoever seconded it. And then you will see either pass or a roll call vote. Historically, in my opinion, all motions in board meetings use roll call or all in favor vote. Historically, if money or a contentious issue is made, a roll call vote is taken, so that person's yay or nay is etched in stone, I'll say. I attended that meeting that you guys just listened to in Trustee Campbell's private recording. As you, all three of you or four of you, I don't know, she's not official, I think she's the secretary, your recorder.
Probably more official than we are.
Heard. The motion to accept was made by the Shane. The motion to second was made by Mr. Whalen, by Trustee Whalen. Mr. Eddy then called for discussion. That is normal procedure during votes. At no time was a vote taken. At no time was, when I say vote, no, all in favor, all against. I listened to the recording of your guys' last commission hearing, and it was brought up. The Shane openly admits she went in and changed the minutes from what the secretary wrote from the official township recording. Shortly thereafter, the secretary is no longer employed by the township. The only yes on the recording was Trustee Whalen, if you listen. Whalen then, shortly thereafter, moves to a new motion for payroll before a roll call or all in favor votes taken.
But did Mr. Eddy and Supervisor Eddy say, hey, we got a motion on the table, we need to vote? I didn't hear that at all.
No.
Isn't it his responsibility to control the meeting and to do votes up or down, or say, this is, like you just said, this is a contentious vote, we need everybody's thing? Isn't it the chairperson of any meeting's responsibility to call for a vote?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it's not, because you as a trustee can't put up your hand and say, well, I'm going to
I
jump in here and call for a
encourage the
vote.
three of you to
Right.
go to the unofficial YouTube channel where they are recorded. Our whole board has an issue. There's times Mr. Whalen and Mr. Campbell, and I don't always disagree with these two.
Yeah, but there was no vote call.
There was no vote. There's several
there was no call for a
procedural
vote.
errors
There's a
in
procedure
almost
error for
every
the chair.
meeting. There's a
Okay.
reason we have a meeting tonight,
Right.
because it was procedure errors 2 weeks ago or 7 days ago.
Sure.
So what is the intention of specifically Trustee Campbell over Supervisor Eddy for recall petition for violation of Open Meetings Act?
Say that again, sorry.
So the intent of this is to recall Trustee Campbell over the violation of the Open Meetings Act. We've agreed, Trustee Campbell, I'm trying to think, all the trustees, they cannot call for a vote. What is the intent behind recalling specifically trustee Campbell over this language, and not the individual who can call for that?
I cannot speak to that recall specifically.
Well,
The intent, because
Well, the
I'm
only
not
reason
a petitioner.
the only reason I ask you is because you mentioned this is a grassroots effort and an organized effort to try and recall these individuals, which you have said you are involved in that group.
Yep. When this was brought up in that group, it was because of transparency and the way the vote was changed. And
In the minutes.
the way the minutes were changed, sorry, yes, let me clarify that. I'm going to tell you, the room full of people that are in this grassroots movement, none of us are college doctorates, $200 a month check GBT helps us with this. It's not a very common thing.
Jeremy, that's okay.
Yeah, Mark.
It's not a very common thing to have to go through and do.
No, and I understand.
That's what the
I'm
process is for.
I'm trying to understand the intent. That's what I'm asking for.
To bring transparency back to our township. Like I said, nobody's ever going to agree with anybody that's voting. There's a majority and there's a minority. That's all it boils down to, and we as this group feel this is not heading in the right direction.
Let me jump in here real
Yeah,
quick.
go
So then,
ahead.
I know this is Mr. Petronos, but then when the December 22nd minutes came out, there was this accepting of the resignation again. Is that another issue?
The meeting after her
Have
resignation.
the record reflect that Ms. Shalander resigned and it was accepted by the board. That was in the draft minutes.
So as I recall from attending that second meeting, Kayla Shalander.
I know I stumbled to Shalander or
Yes,
Yeah.
her.
That
The
was
former
Kayla.
clerk, I
Ms.
guess.
Kayla, yeah.
The second former clerk.
Got it.
She showed back up to that meeting
Uh-huh.
and said at the board table, the three of the board members had a problem, so they accepted that. She wanted to come back. She states in her resignation letter.
Right.
And like I said, this is me speaking, not Kayla. I wish she could attend these. My personal belief is she filed that resignation under duress. She references the hostile work environment that she received from trustee or the channel, whatever the channel's position is, treasurer, I believe. Like I said, there's a lot of issues, and in all honesty, you guys know. Every one of our board members, except for Mr. Waldy, is now up for recall.
Okay.
The grassroots campaign is giving Mr. Waldy a chance to do what is right. So to say that this is a personal attack on anybody,
Is Mr. Wally a trustee also?
Waldy? Waldy is a appointed clerk at this time.
Okay, he's the gentleman who filed to run for clerk.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So just to give some clarity of
Context, yeah,
what's
okay.
going on, this is not a backstabbing from one board member to the next. If it is, like I said, that's not happening in our meetings that we are holding in this group. So,
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, hold on. Ma'am?
You see her again? You know, I'm going to bring this up from the last one, that the last petition talked about Kayla's rescission letter on the 18th. And trustee Campbell gave you the letter from the 17th. Well, you know, she actually did send a letter on the 18th, which is, I'm sure, whoever turned in the petition was referencing, which I didn't know about until just a few weeks ago when I received the emails from trustee Whalen.
Okay.
Now, why trustee Campbell instead of Brad Eddy, Supervisor Eddy? Supervisor Eddy made an error. It was not intentional. He did not take a vote. He just didn't do it. What the other people did, what trustee Campbell did, was he purposely voted for incorrect minutes. Because then what happened at the December 28th December 22nd meeting, is that Treasurer DeShino looks over at Trustee Whalen, and Trustee Whalen says, "Oh, I nominate to appoint Brian Waldy." Now, who was Brian Waldy? Brian Waldy had been Treasurer DeShino's deputy treasurer, and is also her daughter, Raina, her fiance, I don't know what his name is, that's her father. So that's going to be her father-in-law. So it's going to end up being, they're going to be in-laws through marriage. And it's in my opinion that the hostile work environment was to get rid of Kayla so that her soon-to-be relative through marriage was appointed.
Okay. Yes, you're right. I think it was just a simple error. Sometimes meetings can get rolling and
Yes.
like today, you get rolling and you forget.
Yep.
So yes, you're probably right. It was an error, and unfortunately, it's caused a real snowball effect as to what's going on here. So, all right.
And so instead of voting again, because she had sent in this, I can give you this copy.
No, I've got it. I've got several copies. We've got
From the 18th?
Yes,
Okay.
it was typed copy of the 18th.
Okay.
Once she resigned, and then she rescinded, she got the
Right.
wrong date, and she got a new one. Yes. we
And you look at the minutes that were passed that Ms. DeShano had.
I'm sorry, I'm going to jump in just for a second.
Yeah, sure.
Because, we're talking a lot about, maybe we aren't. Maybe it's twofold. A lot about Ms. Kayla Schleimer's job and whether or
Yes.
not she wanted it.
Right.
But, it's interesting. Does she want this job? That's
Yes.
number one. Okay.
She did. She wanted it back.
Does she want it now?
I don't know. I haven't
Okay,
seen it.
because it seems like that's a lot of focus over something we don't have
Well-
any information on. That's number one. And number two, the other thing is the process of what has happened, and so I
Right.
understand that.
Right.
So,
In the original minutes from Jamie, the previous secretary.
is that the one with the draft on the front?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
you need to understand, Ma'am, that
Okay, I'm sorry.
minutes can be, you can't say they're previous minutes, because it doesn't sound like they were accepted, because they had a huge draft stamp, which means
True.
that they have not been corrected. And you were able to get a copy from her of draft minutes that could be correct or not correct.
Right.
Okay, just so that's clear.
And Ms. DeShano had taken it upon herself to correct those before she presented them to.
Anybody should correct them if they're not accurate.
Okay.
Correct? I mean, that's what draft means, right?
Right.
Okay.
So Ms. DeShano then changed it to accept the resignation from the clerk while not accepting assertions in the letter submitted. So how can you pick and choose what you can accept in her resignation letter?
I don't know if that's relevant to the petition.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. Don't know.
Okay, but again, as Jeremy Bloom had pointed out, if you look at the minutes, everything, or most everything, it says roll call vote, and then it gives who voted. This one says, after much discussion of the situation, all in favor, yes. So I come back to, if these were incorrect, then why didn't they vote on her resignation?
The next meeting.
Right, again, which they did.
That's a question for your supervisor, and you should ask them.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
All
thank you.
right, we're going to go ahead, Ms. Zanatti, do you have any comments? Mr. Prince?
No, all right, anymore.
I don't have any more comments either. Yeah, it's pretty clear that what's going on. So, all right, Ms. Zanatti, vote?
Since the last petition that we received, the last recall hearing for Charles, they did remove that question of the date. I'm going to let the voters decide on whether they think that this is a good reason or not, on whether it's just approving minutes or not approving minutes. So I'm going to vote yes.
I'm struggling with these. We're supposed to focus on the language itself.
Right.
My personal opinions do not matter in this situation. I do believe it is factual in nature and clear. So
2 votes, motion passes. So the recall will go forward. Yeah, I'm going to say that in a minute. I will vote yes also because I think the language is clear. My personal opinions, obviously that there's been incredible strife, as everyone I think can agree here today, as to what happened, right down to the drafting, right down to a missed vote that if it would have been done, we would not be here, right? And so unfortunately, that's something that's going to have to be discussed with your township and within your township and with your supervisor. But when we look at the clear intent of the language is clear and factual, even though that there are obviously incredibly 2 sides to the story, but I will vote yes. All right. You have 7 days from today to file your appeal.
Thank you.